Hello children, this is Mr. Tan. Today we'll be learning to read a kitchen scale. Now you should know by now that a kitchen scale is used to measure mass, to measure how heavy something is. And you probably have seen your parents use it for baking, or you yourself might have used it before. Okay, so let's see how do we read a kitchen scale. Now in primary 2 we learned two-part scales like this. Alright, and it's very simple because there are the markings that do not have a reading, they are not labeled with a reading, are just in between, and markings that have readings. Right? So you know that for this needle, it is pointing in between 2 and 4, and the answer is simply 3 kg or 3 kilograms. Okay? And you have seen that the needle traveled from here to this in this direction. If you were to add heavier things, it will continue this way. Likewise, you can see that the numbers increase from 0, 2, 4, 6, and finally 8. I'll do it again. 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So it goes in this direction that I've shown you the arrows. The next thing that you should also recall is that for this particular marking, there are actually two readings shown. The first reading is 0 kilograms when there's nothing on it, and the second reading is 8 kilograms when it is at its maximum. So you cannot go further than 8 kilograms. Usually, it is where the spring of the measuring of the kitchen scale may start to behave in a way that is not correct. So you may have an inaccurate reading after 8 kilograms. Okay? So there's always a limitation to your kitchen scale. Alright, so that's a brief recap on how kitchen scales work. You can see that it is really like a scale, just that we have joined we have made it into a circle. Okay, and for primary 3, you will have scales that have readings that are more widely spaced apart. Alright, they will not be so simple as having just 2 gaps. Alright, you will have to use division for these kinds of questions, and we will try some of them today. So let's look at this question. What is the mass shown? Again, like yesterday, the first step is to work out the small gaps. Work out the small gaps. Likewise, you are going to find 2 labeled readings. For example, 1 and 2 kg. And then we're going to find how many gaps are there in between. Let's find the difference first. Alright, so 2 kilograms minus 1 kilogram, that would be 2,000 grams minus 1,000 grams. I'm doing the conversion here. Sorry, not 100, but 1,000 grams. And my answer is 1,000 grams. And that is the difference. Now, if you remember, how many gaps make up this 1,000 grams? That's the next question we need to ask ourselves. And let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 gaps. If 10 gaps make up 1,000 grams, we can find what is 1 gap. Alright, so 10 units equals to 1,000 grams. So 1 unit will be equals to 1,000 grams divided by 10, and that will give us 100 grams. Now we know that this scale increases by 100 grams each time. You go to the next one. Alright, to check. Can I check my work? Of course I can. Let's go. We can count up in 100. For example, from 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000 grams, which is 1 kg, and I know that I have gotten the correct answer. Okay, so we can always do this step to check. Now, how do we find the reading? Let's observe where the needle is pointing. Is it pointing after 1 kg or before 1 kg? If you said after, you are correct. Remember, the needle goes this way. Alright, so this is 100 grams more. 100 grams more than 1 kg. So my answer will be 1 kg and 100 grams. Or, if I convert 1 kg to 1000 grams, that will be 1000 grams plus 100 grams equals to 1100 grams. This is the answer. Alright, let's try another question. Now, I've given you a special one over here, probably not a usual scale that you will see. What is the mass shown over here? Now, when scales get challenging, or when scales are so widely spaced, the readings are so widely spaced, just remember, we can always find the difference. We just need 2 of them. We just need 2 readings to find the difference, okay? So, I see 0, I see 300. This means from here all the way to here, it is 300 grams, right? So actually, 300 grams is the difference. If you do a working, 300 grams minus 0, which will still give you 300 grams, okay? And now, let's find out how many gaps make up 300 grams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is 5, the next one is, the next one is 10, 15, 20. I'm counting a little bit faster this way. 20 units make up 300 grams. Shucks. Fudged. So for our second and final example, let's look at what is the mass shown over here. Alright, the first step again is to work out the small gaps. Let's look for 2 readings. It would be a mistake to use 600 and 150 grams. Do you know why? Because the gap from here to here is not the difference. However, if you were so careful that if you use this gap instead, then there will not be a problem. Alright, just to point out. It will be far wiser and far smarter to use 0 and 150. So now 150 grams will simply be the difference. How many gaps make up 150 grams? Well, let's be sure and let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, a middle marking to a middle marking, which is darker, is another 5. So that's 10 markings. Alright? So 10 units equals to 150 grams. 1 unit equals to 150 grams divided by 10, which is equals to 15 grams. Now, I'm not saying that this is a usual case, but in this question, it is 15 grams for each gap. So every time I move from here, I add 15 grams. I add 15 grams. Okay? So how do I find this marking? Again, the needle is pointing after 150 grams mark. So 150 grams plus 15 grams equals to 165 grams. And that is my answer. Okay? Well, give it a try. And if you have any questions, please ask me in the lesson below. Thank you.